Hello everyone, and welcome back to Sombat Zoo. I'm Reckless, and today we are doing our Japanese macaque habitat. Because the Japanese macaque is the only Japanese animal we currently have in-game, I wanted to do something extra special for these little guys to give them a habitat that was worthy of Japan. So this habitat is modeled after the Fushimi Inari shrine in Kyoto. I apologize if I'm butchering that pronunciation. But as you'll see in a second here, this is the temple and shrine with the orange gates. They're called the Torii gates, I believe they're called. The look of these just spoke to me, and I knew as soon as I had the idea to make the Japanese macaque habitat, I knew I had to incorporate these gates. I've never been to Kyoto personally. I've only been to Tokyo and Osaka, but Kyoto is definitely on my list of places to visit in Japan, and this is certainly going to be one of the key stops when I do make it there. So these Torii gates basically weave and wind through this ancient forest of bamboo and just lush vegetation, and I thought it was such a cool concept. I wanted to include it in our zoo, and like I said before, give the Japanese macaque a little bit extra, seeing as how they're the only Japanese animal currently represented in game. So this temple and these gates and everything, they're definitely been my most ambitious project to date. The gates themselves weren't too difficult to create. As you can see, I pieced them together quite quickly, get the idea as to how I want them to look and whatnot. But the temple itself, I tried to copy as best as I could to how it looks in the real world, and that was certainly a challenge. I hope you guys like the way I did it. I think it turned out pretty good, you know. This was definitely the most challenging building I've ever done in this game, so I hope you guys appreciate the effort I put in. I apologize it took me a little bit longer to get out, but like I said, it was a struggle at times for me to get it looking how I wanted and to get the level of accuracy I was trying to achieve. But all in all, I think it turned out pretty good. So with these Torii gates, as you can see, I made a blueprint of them to make it a little bit easier, and then I just went along and copy and pasted, essentially adjusting for height along the path. In some photos, the gates are rather spread out, but in certain parts of the shrine in Fushimi Inari, they're really close together, and it creates this like encompassing walkway where you get just little peaks of forest through the gates and everything, and I thought it looked super cool, so I wanted to create like a weaving snake through the mountain, well, through our path system here, if you will. And I think it turned out pretty good. I mean, let me know what you guys think. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know how I did. If you are from this area or if you've been there yourself, let me know how I did, if I got the accuracy down. If you're new to the channel, please do leave us a comment, hit that like button, and if you haven't already, feel free to subscribe. We have a lot more builds to do here in this Sombat Zoo and many more different zoos to come after this, so I hope you guys will stick around for the future. So here we are starting the building of the temple, and I used a reference image in order to copy this as best as I could. Now, when it comes to the shrine, most of the pictures are obviously on the Torii gates, so it's really difficult actually to find like a close-up picture of the shrine itself, the temple itself. So I just kind of went by what I had off of Google Images, and I think it turned out pretty good. I apologize once again. The main part of the temple build fell victim to OBS's shenanigans when in regards to corrupting my file. I mean, this should be no surprise to you guys as of now. OBS has not been my friend lately. Who was it though? It was actually Zoofluencer, another YouTuber on YouTube here for Planet Zoo, that gave me the hint of recording my footage in MKV file as opposed to MP4 file, and that seems to reduce the amount of corrupted save files. So I'm gonna try that out. I hope it works. So thanks again to Zoofluencer. If you are unfamiliar with his channel, go and check him out. Another great YouTuber. Started around the same time as myself. So yeah, you know, help out the new people as well as watching the seasoned pros. You know, we're trying to make quality content for you guys, and you know, it's good to share the love. In regards to sharing love, I have a special shout out to give here. I want to give a special shout out to Liberty Shuro Art on Instagram. If you've noticed, we've had a new icon for our channel, this leopard icon here, and that we're using as our channel art. This was provided to us by Liberty Shuro Art, SHURO. So Liberty Shuro Art on Instagram. I'll leave his link down in the description. He's a artist from Zimbabwe, and believe it or not, this image is hand-drawn. It looks absolutely photorealistic. Go check out his art. It is absolutely stunning. When I first saw his pictures, I thought he was just like using pictures and customizing them, but no, it's all hand-drawn stuff. He's absolutely incredible, and he was kind enough to let me use one of his pictures as our channel art. So again, link is down in the description. Go over to his Instagram, give him a shout out, let him know I sent you, and that'd be greatly appreciated for an artist, just to give him some extra exposure. He was such a friendly guy, worked with me to get the file sent across and everything, and just a stand-up gentleman. So shout out to Liberty Shuro. If you're watching this video, you're my hero, man, and thanks again for the art. It's absolutely breathtaking. In regards to the build, as you can see here, this is like the there's the finished bit of the temple there. I'll put a link, or what am I talking about? I'll put some stills and some shots at the end to highlight it like I usually do. If you're wanting to see more like still images of my builds, I do post all my builds on Instagram as well. That's Reckless1 Gaming at Instagram, so you can follow my Instagram. I do try and keep all my different habitat builds on there as well. So if you want to see just some still images, some stuff that I can I take a little bit more time to find the right composition, good light, you know. So it's Reckless1 Planet Zoo, sorry. I'll leave the link in the description as well. But yeah, feel free to follow me on Instagram. Come talk to us in the Discord, you know, all that sort of YouTuber stuff. But yeah, other than that, going forward with Sombat Zoo here, I think next up, I believe I'm going to tackle the Indian section. Just simply because, you know, it's a section that I've never done so far in game. I want to use some of the building assets and everything like that, and I have had some requests for Indian animals and Indian representation as well, so I'm going to do my best to knock that out in the next week or so. I'm thinking, I had a request from a long-time follower to include like Indian elephants along with Bengal tigers in like a forest type exhibit. So I think I'm going to do that. It's a cool idea, you know, like I'm aiming for like a lowland wetlands kind of build where, you know, the tigers stalk their prey. I wish we had like some deer, you know, like I know you've seen those tiger documentaries and whatnot when they're like stalking prey through the wetlands. These like little deer that they have in India there. I'm getting ahead of myself here, but I wish that we had some deer representation in the game so we could give the tigers some proper prey to put in their habitat with them, but I digress. Yeah, so I think Indian section is next. If you guys have a request for a specific build or a specific animal you'd like to see, or even like a scenario you'd like to see, you want me to do some sort of crazy wacky build, like maybe a movie themed build or something like that, be sure to let me know. You know, I'm open to suggestions. As a creative YouTuber, I struggle sometimes to always come up with ideas for what to do, right? Like with this temple, it was just a no-brainer for me, right? But I don't always have that sort of inspiration. So if you guys have a certain place that you'd like to see me recreate, or you know, you just have an idea for something you'd like to see, I can't guarantee that I'll do it, but you know, it gives me some food for my creative process, food for thought, if you will, right? So yeah, let me know what you guys want to see, and I'll do my best to get that content out for you guys. As far as the Japanese macaque habitat itself goes, I wanted to create, you know, the stereotypical macaque environment where they're in like the hot springs, right? So I didn't quite figure out how to get the animals in the water, you know what I mean? I think I'd have to put their feeder in the actual pool in order for them to go in it, and I didn't like the look of it. I tried it out and it just wasn't really what I wanted. But either way, I created these little hot tub mountain spring pools and stuff like that. I think it turned out pretty sweet. This is a little area, as you can see me creating right here. This is like for the guests, so if the guests want to chill in the hot springs next to the macaque habitat, they can, right? Maybe get a glimpse of the macaques while they're chilling in the hot springs. You know, just add a little flavor to the zoo, right? Who says it's all gotta be just commercialized zoo, right? It's a game. I can be as realistic or unrealistic as I want, right? Right? Either way, I think it turned out pretty cool. I'm happy with it. Basically, the effect I used for these hot springs to give kind of the hot spring effect is these, I believe it's the ripple effect, and then the mist. So it creates like a heat hot springy type effect. I think it looks really sweet in game. If you see it in normal speed as well, it's like a slow bubble, you know, just like a hot spring would be, the hot volcanic water coming up. It's super cool. The stuff that they allow us to do in the game here is just incredible. So again, I'm sticking with my theme for this zoo as having one viewpoint for the guests. It was quite a struggle to get them to actually come in to this viewpoint. You know, they want to stop and just like look at a rock, you know, like the game registers it as them being able to see into the habitat, even though there's just like land and rocks there, you know what I mean? So it took a little bit of manipulation of the terrain to get the guests to come into this section, but I think it turned out pretty good. I'm happy with the layout. I tweaked my red panda build on the last one. You guys didn't seem to like that build too much, which was surprising for me. Maybe I'm just not great at like making thumbnails, I guess. Maybe the thumbnails are not interesting enough to get people to click on it, or maybe just the concept wasn't there. But either way, you know, I'm going to go back to the drawing board when it comes to the aquarium type builds, and just try and maybe do something like this where it's a little bit more standard of a habitat, but with one dedicated viewing area to really hone in on the aesthetic from that view. I don't know. It's a work in progress. Let me know what you guys think about it. But you know, I thought the red panda habitat turned out pretty good, but the response wasn't great. So, you know, I gotta listen to the people, you know? It's not about me and what I think all wholeheartedly. I have to do what people like. So, either way, I'm not going to slow down with this zoo. Sombat Zoo is going to keep going. If you want to see anything else, please do let me know. In the meantime, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, like and comment on the video. I'll see you in the next one of Sombat Zoo. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.